What is going on, guys? It's T206 Tobacco Cards here with the much anticipated SGC grading reveal. Got the cards right there. I went ahead and unboxed them just because I currently still record these videos on my phone, and I actually hold the camera and or hold the phone in one hand, so I couldn't do the whole unboxing thing, or else I'd have to set the phone down and all that. So I just went ahead and took them out, prepped them for the video. SGC's turnaround time for my submission was 16 business days, and I can absolutely respect that. That is pretty much spot on for what they advertise. And especially with everything that's going on with all the rumors and concerns that people are having on the future of their company and hesitation with submitting cards to them right now, my experience was great. They updated me every step of the way when my cards arrived, when they were being graded, post-graded, shipped back to me. Everything was updated to me right on time. And yeah, like I said, a 16-day turnaround time, I can absolutely respect that. But me personally, I don't think SGC is going anywhere. I don't really know why everybody's kind of freaking out about it. I think that if anything, they just kind of resort to a vintage-only grader and let PSA kind of handle all the bulk of the modern stuff, which is fine with me. I'm not into that anyways. SGC is my preference. I think they're far more superior when it comes to grading the kind of cards that I collect, being T206s and T210s. So they're who I'm going to continue to use. And my first experience so far has been excellent. So let's hop right into these cards, check out the grades, and see if I'm still happy with them at the end of that. So first up, we have a Sweet Cap 350, and this is Mr. Boss Schmidt. He got a SGC2, which I can definitely live with. He was in a PSA holder, if y'all can remember back when I first showed this card. It was in a PSA2. I cracked it out just to see if maybe it could come back higher. I thought, if anything, it would come back maybe a 2.5, but I didn't see it getting less than a 2, so cracking it wasn't really a concern to me. So it crossed over to what it was already, so I can live with that for sure. Next up, we have got, Carlos Smith. Tough Southern Leaguer here. Unfortunately, did get a 1, but that's not a huge shock to me. He does have a decent amount of creasing going on the front, but it's not really too bad. It doesn't go through to the backside. It's kind of more just wrinkles almost. So I figured it could maybe still pull a 2, but because I've seen some rough 1.5 and 2s, but unfortunately got a 1, but that's okay. I can live with it. This is a tough card to find, and it still presents well. And that's kind of my rule when it comes to buying slabs or keeping them after grading. If it comes back a 1, but it still presents well, and I don't think confidently that it can get higher than, a 1 or 1.5, I'm not going to resubmit it. I'll live with the 1 and just, have a card that presents well but has a low grade. But none of these are being resold, so I don't really care about the grade that much. Next up we have got Mr. Johnny Evers. This is the with bat Cubs on shirt variation. Definitely the hardest variation to find for him. Y'all have not seen this card yet. I actually picked it up on Facebook Marketplace like a couple days before I submitted this submission to SGC. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. It was raw. And I was like, dang, that definitely looks like it could get a 3. I sent it to a couple of my buddies within the community. They kind of agreed that 2.5, 3 range definitely seemed possible. Unfortunately, came back a 2. The back is clean on this. The centering is almost perfect. The only flaw, you can kind of see that wrinkle that goes kind of from the right side of the card up through his eye and kind of stops at where the top of his hat is. That is the only flaw. Besides that maybe little black speck in the bottom left corner, and I guess there's one at the top right too, but this one may potentially get cracked and resubmitted. I think that this could definitely pull a 2.5 or 3. I don't see it getting less than a 2, so there's really no risk, but I think I could confidently say that I could get a 2.5 or 3. I've seen plenty of 3s that look just like that, even with, creases up in the corner. So that one's definitely going back. I just don't know when. Next up, we have a Piedmont 350. Oh man, this is George Mannion. Got a SGC 1. This was actually in a PSA 2 slab. I cracked it out thinking that it would definitely cross over the same grade, if not get a bump, but I guess they did not appreciate those tiny, tiny specks of paper loss there, but that's really the only thing holding this card back. The centering's great. I mean, it kind of leans more a little topside, but back is clean besides some very faint discoloration. I was really hoping this was going to cross over the same or even get a bump, because this is one of my favorite Southern Leaguers. He's very, very tough to find. He's probably top 3 scarcest for sure. So I may send this one back in with the Mannion. If I'm confident that they can go get a higher grade, I'll send them back. And I feel very confident about those two. Like Carlos Smith there, I wouldn't send that back just because I can kind of agree with the one. I was being a little bit optimistic before I sent it, but those two, the Mannion and the Evers, definitely going to get sent back. All right, next up we have a Piedmont 150. Okay, Roger Bresnahan portrait, my very first T206 card I ever got back in like 2012. It was in a screw down holder for a very long time, and then kind of when I got ready to submit it for grading, I took it out and just put it in a little semi-rigid. I think my prediction on this was a 2.5. So with it coming back at 2, I can live with that. I knew with that crease in the bottom there and the soft corners all the way around, anything more than a 2.5 was going to be a stretch. So 2 is fine with me on that one. Next up, we have got a Piedmont Miller Huggins Hands at Mouth. This is another doozy. This was in a 1.5 PSA slab, and it came back authentic. Minimum size not met, which I was kind of concerned about when I cracked this card. When I cracked it and actually had it in my hand, I'm like, dang, this looks a lot smaller than the majority of T206s I have. And even comparing it side by side with some of the other raw ones that I was sending off, I was like, yeah, this may come back minimum size not met. So it was kind of a gamble I took, but this one will be for sale. I'm not keeping any authentics. So if anybody wants this, I would, sell it 140-ish shipped. So let me know in the comments. I mean, it presents really well. I just want my whole collection to have number grades. So that one will be for sale, not a keeper. Next up, another Piedmont 150. Okay, this is Rube Marquard. Hands at Thighs variation. I do like this one better than his portrait. This is another card that y'all have not seen yet. It came in with that Johnny Evers there. This one was actually in a PSA 2 as well, so I cracked it out. I didn't see it getting less than a SGC 2, and it crossed over same grade, so I am definitely pleased with that. This is my favorite variation of his. I like it more than the portrait, just really because of all the colors that are going on in this card. It's a beautiful card, so I am okay with that. And then last but not least, this should be the Hal Chase. And yep, Hal Chase, pink portrait background. Came back a 1, but I already knew that. And I'm okay with that. This card still presents well, even with the creases up there in the top right, but everywhere around like his face is fine. The colors are still pretty vibrant on it, and the centering's good. So I'm okay with keeping this one. I got this card for a good deal, so I can't be too picky. And like I said before, as long as it presents well, I could care less really about the grade. But unless, like those two, I know for a fact those can get higher than that. So I will send those back with the next submission when I get those out. I'm not sure when I'm going to send them off yet, but there is the SGC submission results, guys. So I got 4 2s and 3 1s, and then I'm not even counting this Huggins. It's going to be for sale. So 7 cards I'm keeping total. Overall, I'm okay with the results. Not super thrilled, but also not like extremely let down. Just that Mannion and Evers is really the only ones I don't agree with. But we'll see what happens when I submit them back. But guys, I appreciate you tuning in to this. It was definitely a positive experience with SGC, kind of like I was saying in the beginning of the video. A lot of people are doubting them right now and hesitant to use them, but if you judge it off my experience, I had a great one, so I would have no hesitations with sending anything to them right now. But guys, I appreciate all the likes and comments and subscriptions that I'm getting from y'all. Keep them coming, and I'm going to keep putting these videos out. So thanks again for tuning in, and peace. Thanks.